Homesteading, page 112. Canning. Canned fruits and vegetables picked from your garden or purchased from nearby producers when the products are at their peak of quality within 6 to 12 hours after harvest for most vegetables. However, apricots, nectarines, peaches, pears, and plums should be ripened 1 or more days between harvest and canning. If you must delay the canning of other fresh produce, keep it in a shady, cool place. Fresh, home-slaughtered red meats and poultry should be chilled and canned without delay. Do not can meat from sickly or diseased animals. Put fish and seafood on ice after harvest. Eviscerate immediately and can them within 2 days. Maintaining color and flavor in canned food. To maintain good natural color and flavor in stored canned food, you must remove oxygen from food, tissues, and jars. Quickly destroy the food enzymes and obtain high jar vacuums and airtight jar seals. Follow these guidelines to ensure that your canned foods retain optimal colors and flavors during processing and storage. Use only high quality foods that are at the proper maturity and are free of diseases and bruises. Use the hot pack method, especially with acid foods, to be processed in boiling water. Don't unnecessarily expose prepared foods to air. Can them as soon as possible. While preparing a canner load of jars, keep peeled, halved, quartered, sliced, or diced apples, apricots, nectarines, peaches, and pears in a solution of 3 grams, 3,000 milligrams. Ascorbic acid to 1 gallon of cold water. This procedure is also useful in maintaining the natural color of mushrooms and potatoes and for preventing steam and discoloration in cherries and grapes. You can get ascorbic acid in several forms. Pure powdered form, seasonally available among canning supplies and supermarkets. 1 level teaspoon of pure powder, something about 3 grams, uses 1 teaspoon per gallon of water as a treatment solution. Vitamin C tablets, economical and available year-round in many stores, something by 500 milligrams. Here's a picture. Label your jars after processing with the contents and the date. That's another way you can do it. Page 113. Crush and dissolve 6 tablets per gallon of water as a treatment solution. Commercially prepared mixes of ascorbic and citric acid. Seasonally available among canning supplies in supermarkets. Sometimes citric acid powder is sold in supermarkets, but it is less effective in controlling discoloration. If you choose to use these products, follow the manufacturer's directions. Fill hot foods into jars and adjust headspace as specified in recipes. Tighten screw bands securely, but if you are especially strong, not as tightly as possible. Process and cool jars. Store the jars in a relatively cool, dark place, preferably between 50 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Can no more food than you will use within a year. Advantages of hot packing. Many fresh foods contain from 10% to more than 30% air. The length of time that food will last at premium quality depends on how much air is removed from the food before jars are sealed. The more air that is removed, the higher the quality of canned product. Raw packing is the practice of filling jars tightly with freshly prepared but unheated food. Such foods, especially fruit, will float in the jars. The entrapped air in and around the food may cause discoloration within 2 to 3 months of storage. Raw packing is more suitable for vegetables processed in a pressure canner. Hot packing is the practice of heating freshly prepared food to boiling, simmering in 3 to 5 minutes, and promptly filling jars loosely with the boiled food. Hot packing is the best way to remove air and is the preferred pack style for foods processed in a boiling water canner. At first, the color of hot packed foods may appear no better than that of raw packed foods, but within a short storage period, both color and flavor of hot packed foods will be superior. Whether food has been hot packed or raw packed, the juice, syrup, or water to be added to the foods should be heated to boiling before it is added to the jars. This practice helps to remove air from food tissues, shrinks food, helps keep the food from floating in the jars, increases vacuum in sealed jars, and improves shelf life. Pre-shrinking foods allows you to add more food to each jar. Controlling headspace. The unfilled space above the food in a jar and below its lid is termed headspace. It is best to leave a 1/4 inch headspace for jams and jellies, 1/2 inch for fruits and tomatoes to be processed in boiling water, and from 1 to 1¼ inches in low acid foods to be processed in a pressure canner. This space is needed for expansion of food as jars are processed and for forming vacuums in cool jars. The extent of expansion is determined by the air content in the food and by the processing temperature. Air expands greatly when heated to high temperatures. The higher the temperature, the greater the expansion. Foods expand less than air when heated. Here's a picture of a mason jar lid. Screw band and seal. Jars and lids. Food may be canned in glass jars or metal containers. Metal containers can be used only once. They require special sealing equipment and are much more costly than jars. Mason-type jars designed for home canning are ideal for preserving food by pressure or boiling water canning. Regular and wide mouth threaded mason jars with self-sealing lids are the best choices. They are available in 1/2 pint, 1 and 1/2 pint, and quart sizes. The standard jar mouth opening is about 2 3/8 inches. Wide mouth jars have openings of about 3 inches, making them more easily filled and emptied. Regular mouth decorative jelly jars are available in 8-ounce and 12-ounce sizes. With careful use and handling, mason jars may be reused many times, requiring only new lids each time. When lids are used properly, jar seals and vacuums are excellent. Jar cleaning. Before reuse, wash empty jars in hot water with detergent and rinse well by hand, or wash in a dishwasher. Rinse thoroughly, as detergent residue may cause unnatural flavors and colors. Scale or hard water films on jars are easily removed by soaking jars for several hours in a solution containing 1 cup of vinegar, 5% acid per gallon of water. Sterilization of empty jars. Use sterile jars for all jams, jellies, and pickled products. Process less than 10 minutes to sterilize.